Hey everyone, thanks for watching my brand new video. Today we're going to be looking at the second part of how to change your headlight bulbs on your Chevy Equinox, GMC Terrain, or Cadillac SRX. This is the more difficult way. If you have the easier one, which is a dust cap that's on the inside and look in the wheel well, check out my other video for that. This is if your model does not have the dust cap. Why GM would not put one on some cars and on another, I'm not sure. Maybe if someone knows, they can leave it in the comments. I found that very annoying because changing your headlight bulbs should be something you should be able to do on your own without extensive work. This second way I'm showing you here is a lot more of a pain in the ass than it really should be, but we're going to get right to it and I'll show you guys how to do it. As usual, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't like the video and you dislike it, make sure to leave a reason why, just so I know and I can make sure the content's better next time around. On that though, let's get right to it. So what will you need to get this job done? Well, you'll need either a flathead screwdriver, or if you have any type of trim tool like this one here, that'll work just fine. You need a 7 millimeter socket, which is this one right over here. I am using it on a screwdriver that I could change the bits around, because you'll also need a Torx bit. You'll need a T20. Let me use... I hate when that happens, don't you? Anyways, this is a T20 bit. That's what it is. It's written on there somewhere, but you can't really tell. It's kind of blurry, not focusing. Anyways, T20 bit's what you need. These are, and of course your new headlight. These are the only things you'll need. It doesn't seem like a lot of tools, but it is a bit of a pain. So, this is where all the fun begins. Most cars, you know, in previous years when you did cars, you did the headlights up from under the hood, right? You went up there under the hood. You want to reach back in and took out your bulb. However, this car, because especially, and actually it is becoming the norm with other cars too, with everything being kind of these sleeker designs, bigger headlight assemblies and everything, also them really compacting and fitting the engine in the small engine bay, is really not leaving a lot of room. There's still a lot of cars we can get to it. Unfortunately, this is not one of them. Now, some of them, there'll actually be a dust cap in here. Again, check the other video if you have the dust cap. That is the way to go. It's far easier if you have it on the inside. Some cars, though, like this one, does not have a dust cap on the inside. So, there is a few things you got to do to take this off. So, up in there, that's what you need the 7 millimeter for, to get and take that off. And then you have a Torx bit right there, just a standard molding trim piece, another Torx bit, another trim piece. These 5 have to come off for you to really get in there. It is going to be tight too, and you'll see that, but that's what you got to start off with. Okay, we'll start by first taking off this right here. Go. And we'll go through that Torx bit right there. And although I won't film it, then I'll go right after that other Torx bit down below. Now you got to take off these trim pieces, one here, one below. If you have a flathead, actually here, how would I do this? Just to make it so if you guys need to, you know what to do. Before you use the trim, let us use a flathead, and what you do is you just go in and you'll see it's kind of lifted, and you're going to want to go in and right into it and work it around. Don't want to damage it, so you go and you kind of work it, twist and work, move it over a bit, twist and work it around to the top, work it around. See all that dust coming out, and then that comes out. Now once that comes out, you can then just take your flathead and pop out the second piece of it as well. Now if you have any type of trim tool, or you went and got one to do this job, it makes life a little easier. Just take the trim tool and work it in, pull back, and it pops right out. And the same thing too, you just use your trim tool. In this case I'll use the back here, There, I'll pull that right out. Are you ready to swear in all sorts of languages you didn't even know you knew? Here's why. Okay, so now you've got that loose, you're gonna pull this. And when you pull up here, you gotta it's kind of wrapped around a little piece of metal, so you just gotta kind of pull it down and away. You see it? There. And in there, you've gotta pull this all. And you've gotta be able to work to get in. Where is that dust cap? You gotta find the dust cap that's in there. See it right up there? That's it. Give me a second. Right there. That's what you got to take off, and you only have this much room to work with. Talk about a pain, huh? Now, since I can't actually show you that, there's no way for me to get a camera in here to record this part. It's basically you go in, you grab the dust cap, and you got to twist and take it off. So you got to pull this with one hand, and it does take, because it's this plastic, it does take a little bit. And you got to reach up and it's kind of like this, up and in. Watch out for metal and watch your hands. There is some sharp stuff in there. You reach up. I've got the cap in my hand. I'm twisting right now. When you twist, you release the cap and you bring it down through the gap right here. They can be tricky to do, but and you can see is the cap. And there's a gasket that goes with it as well. See? Now, and this is the thing that annoys me with this job too. I'm going to vent a little here because we know light bulbs, and if you know anything about light bulbs, and even if you don't, I'll tell you right now, is that especially the headlights, because they get really, really hot, you can't get dirt and contaminants and everything on them because it could actually shorten the life or cause them to blow prematurely. Bulb technology has gone a long way, but you know, you get them dirty, you get them dirty. This here does nothing to protect your light bulb, right? You either bring it to the dealer and pay exorbitant amounts of money, or you do this here, but you're running a little bit of risk in getting the bulb dirty and everything, and you're going to have to take a lot of caution with that. I do warn that ahead of time. So anyways, rant over. Let's get back in here. We're going to take this and we're going to bend it out. So in case you're wondering, you see this here. Now it's plastic. You don't want to damage it or anything, but what I'm doing is I'm bending it here, putting my hand, and I'm pushing this out like this. You see? I'm kind of bending it a little. And we're going to go in, get our hand, and you'll feel the bulb. I got the bulb in my hand right now. Actually, before I do that. Okay. Don't know how well you can see it there. Let's take a look. There, right there. See where that little blue is? A couple wires running up, and you see a little blue? That's where the bulb is right now. I just removed the dust cap there. That's where your bulb is. So again, I'm going in, I'm bending it. You don't want to damage it, so you got to make sure you get be able to push it back in after. So again, just bend, pop a little bit into the plastic, put your hand up and over, grab the bulb, and give it a bit of a twist. And you're twisting it counterclockwise. You're going to pull out. You pull out, bring the bulb down to you a little bit. You're not going to have enough room. I don't even have enough to bring it here to show you in the camera. But on the top of it, you should feel a little clip. Use your thumb, or you may have to get a flat head, and pull that apart and pull the bulb out. It's very tricky to do, but it can be done. Now once again, you're going to want to exercise caution when doing this. Got new bulb. You're going to go in. Once again, I'm going to go in the plastic, hold it. You're going to find that plug that you just disconnected from. You're going to bring the bulb to it, and you're going to plug it in. While doing this, you've got to avoid any elements, dirt, anything like that. Not easy to do, and it's definitely probably the most annoying carve ever to do, especially when you're trying to avoid these. Doing it right now with one hand. And I've got it clipped. Now let me see if I could show you guys. See, the bulb is sitting right there. I have it clipped in now, right into the harness. And you can see the opening right there, the little light shining through there. That's where I got to get it into. Again, when you get it in there, then you turn clockwise to tighten it. It's tricky to do, but it can be done. You're going to have to avoid any elements touching any of the dirt or anything inside there for sure. So I'm in. Got the bulb. So when I'm going up now to put it, I'm moving my hand back slightly so I'm avoiding touching anything. And while I'm holding it in my pointer finger and my thumb, I'm using my ring finger to find the hole, which I have. And I'm gently putting the bulb in. And again, it can only go in one way. The difficulty, actually, the big problem right now is getting my arm in there. I don't have the biggest arms or the biggest hands, but it's still very awkward to do. But I now have the bulb secured. So now you're going to get your dust cap. Now, if you look at the dust cap, you'll notice there's 2 bigger notches and 3 smaller notches. This 2 can only go on one way. So the problem is, though, is because you can't really see it, and visually inspecting it, it is kind of hard to see which notches are big or small. You can kind of feel them, and you kind of see them, but it is hard. It is a bit of a feeling game, too. This, honestly, took some of the most time to ever do when I'm doing these cars, because it's a real pain to get into, number one. And number 2, it is kind of awkward to feel out. Okay. First you work it, just get it up there. Now we're going to work all the way up. Lined up to the hole. You can look at this. If you have a light or trouble light or anything, that helps too. You want to also make sure the gasket does not fall off. And also, what I did notice too, sometimes, didn't happen right now, but sometimes the wiring from the wire harness can stick out. You want to make sure it's shoved back in so it doesn't interfere with the dust cap. Ah, beautiful. So the dust cap is now back in. So now you'll see, you may get a fold in the plastic or anything. Just push that back in and that's all good. Then installation's reverse. First you push this up here, make sure that goes right back onto that little, like that little lip. And then you put everything in. I start off with the trim pieces. So we put one below. You put the piece in. Then you get the other trim piece. The other piece in. And then I go ahead with the Torx bits. Oops, still have the flat hit on there actually. Okay, and then you flip over to your 7mm. This one here is a little tricky to align because it is kind of up there. It's hard to see. You just kind of get it up there. feel it out here. There. Done. That's it. That's it, guys. Done. Hopefully this video has helped you out in changing the headlights on your Chevy Equinox, Terrain, Cadillac SRX, any of those cars. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask. I always answer the questions I can whenever I can. But on that, I'll see you next video.